Hello and welcome to Tuesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic on a quite horrible day here in the UK. It is pouring with rain, it's been gale force winds outside, but I'm going to distract myself from the dreadful weather and enjoy, I've no doubt, an extremely highly rated puzzle by Shintaro Fushida-Hardy, who we've solved on the channel before. Originally came to our attention actually via Reddit, believe it or not, because Shintaro made a really cool, I want to say it was a 5x5 puzzle with unique prime killer totals. But this puzzle is called Thermohaline Circulation. I don't know what that means, but apparently it's brilliant, and it was created as part of a Skojo competition. Skojo's creating some, or involved in the creation of so many wonderful things in the world of Sudoku at the moment. But we've had this recommended a bundle of times. Apparently, it is brilliant, and I get given digits today, which is a rarity indeed nowadays. 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty on Logic Masters Germany, and a 99% approval rating. So I think we're in for a treat. And yeah, I'll get to the rules in a moment or two's time. I suppose the first thing I should do today, though, is to apologise. Yesterday's video, the introduction to which featured a tweet I'd found very amusing about a paradox involving Rick Astley, led me to the idea that it would be quite funny, and thank you, Sven, for helping me to do this, to create a link that looked exactly like a normal puzzle link, but may have led to a certain song by a Mr. Rick Astley. I did include the real link as well. I'm sorry. Hundreds and hundreds of you got rickrolled yesterday. You seem to take it in the spirit in which it was meant, and for that I'm grateful. I'm sorry if it annoyed anybody, but it did seem a very obvious thing to do. Anyway, what else? We're streaming tonight. Yeah, 10 o'clock UK time. Love to have your company for that. We're going to be streaming puzzles from our 600,000 subscriber on YouTube free pack. If you've not played the puzzles in that pack, they're available free. There'll be a link under this video. Wonderful puzzles, and yeah, we're going to be solving some of them this evening. So 10 o'clock UK time. Love to have your company. I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen to the stream as well. I can hear Maverick has just taken off in the distance. Anything else to mention? You know the drill. Usual stuff is available in and outside the channel, but I've got some birthdays to do as well, so let's do those. Julia, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your boyfriend Julian wrote to us and said that you would appreciate a shout out. I think, Julia, you're Italian and Julian is German, and I know the two of you have been in a long distance relationship for 6 years, but today I think, Julian, you're visiting Julia. Do I have a picture of the two of you? I may do. Here we go. It's nice to have a picture, isn't it? Put faces to names. So I hope Julia, you have an absolutely brilliant day today, and I hope it includes some chocolate cake. Next, Kate, you've turned 26 today, over there in Manchester. Your partner Alad wrote to us and said that you like the Sudokus and he likes the crosswords. You say tomato, I say tomato, and well, anyway, I hope you have a great day today, Kate, with of course chocolate cake. Next, we'll switch from Manchester to Armenia, where Margarita, you've turned 68 today, and I know this because your son Ruben wrote to us to say that, well, he's bringing chocolate cake today, so that's pretty good, and he's gradually persuaded the whole family to watch Cracking the Cryptic by putting it on your 55-inch television and making the whole family watch. Well, Ruben, thank you for doing that. I hope they didn't get too cross with you. And actually, happy birthday to you for a couple of days ago. I think you turned 34 a couple of days ago. But anyway, Margarita, have a brilliant day. Enjoy the chocolate cake. Fantastic. Next, Phoenix. Phoenix, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your partner Santiago wrote to us. Now, I think I did this birthday the other way round a few weeks ago. If I did, there can't be too many Phoenix and Santiago partnerships in the world. But if I'm right, you're from Boston. I hope I haven't got that wrong. And yeah, I can give you a bit of a birthday present actually, Phoenix, because I know that you loved the Rat Run series by Marty Sears. Well, I have it on good authority that season 2 of the Rat Run is coming in the not too distant future. I don't know how I know that, but I do. And then finally, Jordan. Jordan, you've turned 24 today. And now, Jordan, I don't think is a massive fan of chocolate cake, but did share the fruit tart that's going to be celebrating Jordan's birthday. I do have a picture, I'm sure I do. Apparently, that's a brilliant looking creation, frankly. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of fruit tart, but I can appreciate the beauty of that. And that is from Porto's Cuban Bakery in Los Angeles. Fantastic. Jordan, many happy returns. I hope you have a great birthday. And with all that said and done, let us turn our attention to Thermohaline Circulation by Shintaro Fushida-Hardy. These are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Now that means we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. We have to shade some cells to form a 1-cell wide orthogonally connected loop. The loop may not touch itself orthogonally, but can touch itself diagonally. So what does that mean? That means that we could have a loop that looked like that. That is a loop. You can see it's a loop of cells. It does touch itself diagonally at these points, but it doesn't touch itself orthogonally. If it an orthogonal touch would be if it sort of looped round and then touched itself. So if this square was part of the loop, that wouldn't be allowed. And what does it mean to be an orthogonally connected loop? Well, an orthogonally connected loop is a series of cells that connect to each other along edges. So if we tried to do this and argue that this was the loop, that's not right, because these two squares are not orthogonally connected. They only touch each other at a point, and that's not sufficient for orthogonal connection. Now, the next rule, there are more rules. The next rule says, non-loop cells form several orthogonally connected groups. Such a group of size n contains exactly the digits from 1 to n. So if the loop... okay, I can see how this is absolute nonsense what I've done here already. Let's try and make it a bit more realistic. Oh, and it's not going to work in the middle. Oh dear. Hang on. I'm going to try. It's not going to work. I've got myself into a pickle here. Because the loop's going to touch itself. Hang on. Let's try that. That might work. One day I'm going to do one of these examples and it's going to be the answer, and that's going to be moderately funny. No, this doesn't work either. This is wrong. Because what I'm trying to do here is to achieve a situation where I'm not making any of the regions too large. I think this middle region's too large. But in principle, let's talk about how this would work. You can see there's some purple squares in the grid that form the loop. All of the bits of the grid that are not loop form orthogonally connected regions. So this region has 9 cells in it. This region has 4 cells in it. So this region, the 4-cell region, would have to contain the digits 1 to 4. This region would have to contain the digits 1 to 9. This region would have to contain 1 to 4. That would have to contain... oh, hang on, that's not 9, is it? That's many more than 9. That's 11. Sorry, so that's total. I've messed it up there as well. Hang on, let's try and fix it. I'm determined to fix it. Can we fix it? There we go. Now it's 9. This is 9 as well. These would both have to contain a 1. And the middle is impossible to fill because it's got more than 9 cells, so we'd have to contain a 10, 11, 12, etc. So that doesn't work. But anyway, hopefully the principle is clear. Now there's one more rule. That doesn't sound like Maverick. That sounds like a policeman or something. Thermosightline arrows. Each cell with an arrow, called an arrow cell, lies on the loop. The digit in an arrow cell is the number of visible loop cells in the indicated direction where non-loop cells obstruct vision. Okay, that's clear. So this is pointing along the bottom row and telling us how many loop cells are seen before a non-loop cell is seen. Oh, the arrow cell is not included in this count. Right, okay, that's interesting. So we have to take care about the numbers we put into the arrow cells. And then it says, additionally, digits increase along loop cells seen by an arrow, starting with the digit in the arrow cell. So let's look at this square. If that was a 3, how does that work? Then it would be saying we go 1, 2, 3 cells of loop. So all of those would be loop. And then there would have to be a turn. And then these 3 squares, is it those 3 or does it continue round the corner? Let's just read that. Digits increase along loop cells seen by an arrow. Okay, yeah. So it's not this one. We have to, so this would be a 4 or a 5 or a 6 or something, and then that would be higher again, and that would be higher again. So we must increase as we move away from the arrow cell. That is a very unusual rule. That must be something to do with the thermohaline part of the, or the circulation, I don't know. I don't understand the title, but do have a go at the puzzle. It's meant to be brilliant. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, all of, oh, it won't let me double click them. I was going to double click the loop cells. They are all loop because that's what the instructions said. Now, if this cell in the corner is part of a loop, then we can extend it, can't we? Every loop cell is going to have a cell sort of going into that cell and a cell going out of it. That's the nature of the loop, and the loop doesn't touch itself, so this square can't be loop, and therefore the loop must extend again. So we're off to a little bit of a start here. Now, does that have to go here? This digit? Yes. Okay. So this is one of the rules, was that the digit we put in an arrow cell isn't counting itself. So this is obviously, it's a Sudoku digit. It's at least a 1, but by being a 1, it would say it says that the loop is extending in this direction 1 cell. So this would be loop. So that's definitely loop. But now, if that's loop, isn't the thermo going to go the wrong way? Yeah, okay. So that's rather cute. If that's loop, then this arrow is saying digits must increase going in this direction. But this arrow is saying the opposite. It's like a paradox. It's like a risk. Don't get cross with me. It's like a paradox. It couldn't be true, could it, that the digits increase this way and this way at the same time? So which cell was it that was there? So it's this cell is definitely not loop. So the loop must turn there. It must turn here. Corners are so important in these puzzles. That's not loop because the loop would touch itself. Now, can that really be loop? Oh, I see. No, maybe it can actually, because the loop wouldn't. It would touch itself, but not orthogonally. So, providing the loop sort of went into those squares, that might be okay. That would put 1s on the loop into those positions. Oh, hang on. Hang on. This is a 1. Yeah, that's what oh, sorry. I was obsessing so much about the sort of thermometer property, but the fact is, the digit you put in the arrow is telling you how far you see. So this sees 1 cell. This sees. I was going to say I was going to put 3 in, not learning my lesson from this being a 1, but no. This sees these 2 cells. So now, okay, so now the loop cannot close, because if this is grey, this needs to be a 1. It's a region that's non-loop that is a size 1, and it can't be. In fact, look at this. Not only does this non-loop area have to extend, it has to extend further, because if this was grey, this would be a region of size 2, and it would have to contain the digits 1 and 2, and that can be neither. So this is going here now. This has to extend. We can't close the loop because then we're going to create two loops, a concept so ludicrous that it would be a very famous paradox. Okay, so we must go there. We can't close the loop. So this square must be green. This square must be grey. This square must be grey. So actually, okay, so the thermometer properties of this digit are not very interesting now, because this digit just will be higher than 1 axiomatically. Oh, beautiful. Right, here's a lovely point. This square is not grey. And that's because if I make this grey, this region here, this 3-cell region, let's do it. This 3-cell region must contain a 1, mustn't it? And it can't, because there's a 1 in the box already. So that's got to grow. That is the minimum size. That might be something it's worth looking out for in other positions in the puzzle. That every green region we create has to contain a 1. And anything bigger than size 1 has to also contain a 2. Now, oh, this has to grow. That can't close. Here we go. We can keep going with this. This square is now at least a 4. So 5, 6, 7, 8. It can only be a 4 or a 5. And if it's a 5, no. All right. This is a 4 actually, because if it's a 5, we'd have to extend this again. But now there have to be 5 digits in the Sudoku bigger than 5, and there aren't. There's only 6, 7, 8, and 9 available. So that's a 4. That's the end of the loop. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a corner of the loop. Don't bump into the loop. That's too naughty. So, oops, the loop goes here. The loop goes here. Ah. Oh, there's loads going on now. Look at that region. It's of size 4, so it has to contain 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. The 2 and the 4 in that region are here. This is a 1, 3. This is beautiful. Well, unless this gets significantly harder, which it could. It could. These are exactly the puzzles I love doing on the channel, because, you know, with the best one in the world, I do enjoy very hard puzzles sometimes, but I don't like doing them every day. I don't think viewers like to see them every day. But when you get beautiful, slightly, you know, puzzles that are achievable in, say, 40 minutes, they're becoming few and far between, but they are really rather special. Oh, now I was going to say something that isn't true. I was going to say that has to be a 1, but it's not true, is it? Because we don't know whether the green goes here, and then this loop turns round. What's this digit? That must be the next step. That digit can't be too big, can it? It can't actually. It can't be 1. So it's at least 2, which is saying that we have to go grey for at least these 2 squares. So that is 2 or 3, depending on whether this is grey. But now, I don't think that can be grey. I might be wrong about this, so let me just think about that for a second. No. Oh, no way. Oh, or am I? Hang on, I might be wrong. No, I am. Ah, okay. Sorry. I am wrong. Well, no. Okay, there is a point here. Sorry, that was absolute gibberish I was just spouting there. But okay. What I was thinking was, I was imagining this square was grey, and I was looking at the loop here, and I was wondering how the loop didn't close, because it looks like the loop's going to be like that, doesn't it, or some variant of that. And that's obviously not right, because this needs to form some part of the loop as well. Yeah, but okay, you can do it. You can do it if this is grey. But I think the point... Well, I think we've got to be very careful with this end of it, actually. Because let's say, I mean, maybe this is the point. Can this go here? And I'm going to claim no. But let's just think about that for a moment. I said, let's just think about that for a moment. And Alexa thinks I said her name. I didn't. I apologise on her behalf. Yeah, if this goes this way, how do we keep these apart now? You can't. Because, yeah, but you can't, but you have to. Because whenever this turns up, and it will do at some point, whenever it turns up, it's going to run into this. So let's turn it up there. You can't get this out without touching this end. It's impossible. And if you turn later, it's even worse. This can't even get past. Can't get past at all, can it? So that can't be grey. That's got to be green. That's got to be grey. But okay, it's better now, because that same logic is now very clear. If either of these were grey, we'd have a clear loop, wouldn't we? That is of that sort of shape, and this cannot get out past this. This is brilliant. It can't get out past the corner, so both of those have to be green, and it has to turn. And now this is a 1. This is 2, 3, and 4. That's a 2 by Sudoku. Look, I actually didn't neglect a given digit there, which is often the way that my brain seems to work. Okay. So this is a corner of the loop. Let's use that principle. That's got to be green to avoid the loop hitting itself. Oh, and now it's going to get a bit more. Well, no, it's not actually. This puzzle, I love this, because it's not, it's exactly what I thought before. It's not monstrous, but it is beautiful. The logic is beautiful. How does this ever go into this box? How does the loop ever go into this box now? It can't, because it will create a small loop. If we go in, one of the principles that you get used to if you do a lot of loop puzzles where the loop cannot touch itself orthogonally is that the loops have wide turns, is a good way of... Whenever the loop turns against an edge, it must take at least 3 cells to do that. So if we go in here, we can't get out again. The only way of getting out, if the loop ever turns into this box, is going to be through the other end. And that's going to connect these up. And you can experiment with that as much as you like. It just, you cannot get out is the problem. So the loop never go... right, so not only does the loop never go in here, but these squares cannot now be green at all. Because there are 9 connected cells of non-loop in box 3. How could there be 10? Then we'd have to put a 10 into the region, because it would be a 10-cell region, and we have to fill the digit. Well, it says we have to fill it with the digits 1 to n, because there are no digits in Sudoku, there's no numbers in Sudoku that are bigger than 9. So this has to be grey, this has to be grey, this is a turn, this is a turn. Don't let the loop touch itself, get the loop to extend. This has to be green, this has to be green. Oh, now look, this is growing. So that's at least 6 we need to put in here. This digit is a 3. Oh, and this is a thermo. This is a thermo. So this is 4, 5, 6. Okay. Oh, it's got lots of degrees of freedom actually. This can't be. So no, it can be 7. Oh dear, it has got lots of degrees of freedom. It could be 8. 6, 7, 8, or 9. Okay, sorry, that's not intelligent what I've done there. Right, so there is a 6 in there by Sudoku. Okay, so let's just take stock of... We could almost get like a Windoku puzzle, couldn't we? If this goes like that, then I'm going to have a 9-cell region there and a 9... So we'd have sort of overlapping 9-cell regions in the grid. But every single green region we draw has to have a 1 in it. Oh bother! I'm not seeing it now, am I? What do we do next? Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, okay. It's right. There's some Sudoku we can do in this row. Yes. Okay. Where are 1, 2, and 3 in this box? Is the way I saw that was not like that. The way I was seeing it was I was thinking about these squares being 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and I was noticing if these were 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, that created a sextuplet in box 6. The simpler way would be to say, okay, look, where are 1, 2, 3, and 4 in this box? And you can see 1, 2, and 3 have to be there. That has to be 4 now. Which hasn't really affected my thermometer, unfortunately. No, it really hasn't, has it? And that's put a couple of low digits into this region, which is what we want to achieve, actually. 4 has to be in one of those 2 squares. Oh, okay. I can use the trick here about the loop having to do wide turns to eliminate these 2 squares from being loop. The loop can't go in here and turn, so both of those squares are green, which is a little bit interesting, perhaps. Oh, I know what I haven't done. Look, I've got a thermometer thing here, haven't I? These digits are all big. Whoa, 5, 6... Oh, yeah, there's 1 degree of freedom along this... Whatever's it called? The thermohaline thing. Oh, the thermosightline arrow. Yeah, look, there's only 1 degree of freedom. So we have to do that, because we have to step up. And even if we step up in units of 1 and only begin with 5, we still get to 8 here. So there's only 1 degree of freedom. Okay, that's nice, but it's not really done very much, because we would expect this green region down here. We don't know how big it is, but we would expect it to have... Oh, wait a second, actually. Ah, no, right, okay, forget. Well, I'm going to continue talking because I've noticed something. What I was going to say is we would expect it to have 1 and 3 in it, which is true, and I could see by Sudoku we do have 1s and 3s in it, simply because of where those digits go in row 9. But surely, actually, the interesting digit that must appear in whatever region this is part of is 2. Where's it getting a 2 from? And the answer, well, okay, the answer I think has to be one of these squares, because by Sudoku, the 2 in box 9 is in one of these 3 squares. Now, how could it get that 2 into this region? It can't, because the loop needs to define this region, and this, however big this region gets, it's got to have a 2 in it. So this is not the 2, which means this is a 2-4 pair. And that means both of these, because one of these is green, the 2, whichever one the 2 is, in order to extend this region to this point, it's going to take at least 5 cells, and therefore it needs to have a 4 in it. Where does it get its 4 from? Well, that's going to have to be the 4 here, isn't it? So these are both green, and the loop goes round that is really clever. That's a very, very clever setting. So now these squares are from 5, 6, and 7. This is a 7-cell region. These squares are from 1, 3, 5, 6, and 7. So where, okay, I see. So where the simpler question is, where are 8 and 9 in row 9? And there's only 2 places for them. Look, that's not 7 by Sudoku. And well, okay, but now, oh lovely, this region is of size 5, and that digit can't be 1, 2, 3 or 4, so that is 5. Oh no, what I was about to say isn't true. Well, okay, yes, where's 4 in this region? It's not here, and it's not there, so that's 4. So these squares are a 1, 2, 3 triple. There's probably a way of getting those into better shape. 2 is in one of these squares, definitely within this 1, 2, 3 triple. So 2 is in one of those squares. Okay, that's not that surprising because look, there's a great big region here that definitely, it needs to have a 1 in it, this region. Okay, it could have a 1 there. These squares are an 8, 9 pair, aren't they? Just to complete box 9. And what else should we do then? I tell you what I've got to be careful about, and that is not spotting. So this has to increase, doesn't it? But it will do. It will do. It just naturally will. Well, no, I suppose what we could say is this digit needs to be lower than this digit. I'm actually going to pencil mark it because otherwise I'm going to forget it. I've already forgotten it once down here. So that's 5, 6, 7 or 8. That's 6, 7, 8 or 9. So in a way it's a little tiny bit surprising. Oh, those 2 digits must be the same. Because this is a 1, 2, 3 triple and that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. So that digit is must be the same as that digit. I wonder if that might be worth a quick flash, mightn't it? In fact, well, there's a 3 looking at that digit, so that's a 1 and that's a 1. Okay, should have seen that but didn't. 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, where's 5 in this box? It has to be there. So these squares are 6, 7, 8, and 9. Oh, I see. Okay, that can't be 8 by Sudoku, so there's an 8 in there, so there's no 8 here. This can't be 8 or 9, so this is 6 or 7. No. Let's use Sudoku. It's 7. There is also a 6 looking at it, even though I couldn't see the 6. So now, oh no, that's still the same. Right, so 7 is not in those squares, look, by Sudoku. 5 sees that digit, so that's a 6. And what does that mean? Where? No, what I was about to say is nonsense. There is definitely a 6 in one of those 2 squares. And that's not a 6, look. And this is that weird thermo thing, isn't it? So there's definitely an 8 in one of these. And the thermo will work, whatever this digit is. So it might be that we're coming to the end of this road. How do I do the... I'm probably going to have to look up here, aren't I, at some stage? Well, I'm definitely going to have to do it, but it's at least a little bit unclear to me how I'm going to... I said, well, okay, no, there are some things we can say, surely. What I can't... This cannot be on the loop. Because if the corner is on the loop, because the loop can't touch itself, we're going to create an area of size 12, which is impossible. So that's definitely green. Now, Can we do any better than that? Does that have to be off the loop? If the loop does that, that's getting too big, isn't it? Yeah, that's 10 cells. That's impossible. Again, so if this was on the loop would do this, and even if I make the loop now or make this area, this green area, as small as I can, it's still got 10 cells in it. That won't work. So this square is also green. Well, now this area, yeah, this area is not the same area as this area. That hopefully is clear, because the loop is going to somehow cut between this area and this area. This area, now it's of size 2, it needs a 2 in it. Does it have to be that too? Surely it does. Yeah, it must be. That feels right. Hang on. If this is grey, let's just think about that. Then this region, whatever it ends up looking like, needs a 2 in it. It can't get one. That's beautiful. That is really beautiful. So this is green. The loop does turn. But goodness knows what it does now. There does have to be a 1 in this green region and a 1 in this green region. Oh, right. Okay, this region is not, it needs more green cells in it. Because look at this row. Where's the 8 in this row? And the answer is I haven't got a clue. Oh, I've got a bit of a clue. It's in one of those 3 squares. But it's definitely not here, is it? It's in these squares. So this region has an 8 in it, which means it's at least of size 8, possibly of size 9, actually, if that's a 6. So at the moment, if this is grey, that's not going to work. Because if this is grey, due to the nature of how we have to turn, we can't hit ourselves, can we? So the loop will close, and this will be a size 6. So we have to go there. This is now green. We're now at size 7. So again, this can't be grey, or it's too small. So we have to go there. We're still going to have a choice, but that's definitely green. And now we are at size 8. Where is the 1 in the top green region? Whatever it looks like, it must be here. So that's a 1 and that's a 3. That is true. If this is grey, I get an automatic 3 in the corner. Oh, well, this is brilliant. It's brilliant. Okay, this can't be grey. Because if this is grey, let me show you. This is green now. And what are these 2 digits? Well, they have to be a 3-4 pair, and they can't be a 3-4 pair. It will break this square. Yeah, that is gorgeous. Wow. So this is grey, and this is green, and now I have got a 9-cell area. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Oh, I do love this puzzle. It's absolutely brilliant. Okay, so we have to make sure now. Okay, so what about, is it 1? Ah, nearly. Where's 1 in the 9-cell region here? It's not there, it's not there, it's not there. I think it has 2 positions. Oh, actually, that doesn't do anything. Oh, look, that's not a 1 in the corner. 1 is in one of those 2 squares in box 3. I was about to say this has to be a 6 now because there needs to be a 9 in this green region, but that's nonsense. The 9 could be anywhere. Okay, so probably we need to think again. That digit's that's under pressure. Does that have to be a 5? That might be a Sudoku digit. I mean, it's outrageous being made to do Sudoku in these Sudoku puzzles, but I think Shintaro may have made me do this. Look, this sees 1, 2, 3. It sees 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. It is a naked single 5. which isn't doing very much. Okay, so what do we need in the rest of the column? 1s, 2s and 3s. Okay. Oh wow, I'm not sure really quite where to look to sort this out. What's it going to be then? These two digits are the same. It's probably going to be one of these funny clues I've not used. Although there weren't that many of them, were there? There weren't that many. I've sort of used that one. I think we know this is ascending, and we know it includes a 6. We know this is ascending. Oh yeah, okay. So in this box, where's 9? The 9, I don't know, is the answer, but it's definitely in one of these 3 squares, because it can't be here, because this needs to be lower than this square. That gets me an 8 here, and a 9 here. So this is 8 now. The only place 8 can go in this box. So we need 5, 6, 7 and 9. Let's just pencil mark it up and see if that helps us. So that's not 6. Yeah, that's right. That's not 6. 3 is definitely in one of those 2 squares. This digit is, oh, that digit's a 7, because it can't be 5, and the 5 in this row goes here. So this is a 1, 3 pair. No, I don't get another 3 in the corner. That's a 7. 5 and 7 go into these squares. Has that helped us? That's become a 6, I suppose. So that becomes a 5. 6, 7 and 9 go into those. Whoopsie, whoopsie, whoopsie. Sorry, I wanted to get rid of the corner pencil mark. Okay, so what are those squares? 3 and 5. It's not resolved, is it? It's not quite resolved anyway. How can I do all of these 1s, 2s and 3s in the final column? How are they going to get resolved by other things elsewhere in the grid? Is that what we're going to have to do? Oh, this is 8. So that's got to be higher. That's huge. That's 9, that's 7, that's 6. Oh, that'll be useful. That's a 6 by Sudoku now. So in this column, we've not put in 5 and 7, which we can do because of the lovely given 7. 7 is in one of those squares by Sudoku. These squares are 4, 8, and 9. That feels like it should be resolved, doesn't it? But I'm not sure it is. Oh, but I tell you what we can do. Oh no, we can't quite. Yes, we can. We can. We can. Beautiful. Right. In this row, there is an 8 in green already. I don't know where it goes, but it's in one of those squares. So these can't include 8. And that makes this an 8. And it makes this a 4. And it makes this a 9. And now 9 in this region has appeared. So it doesn't appear again there. So that's a 9. That's an 8. That's a 6. This corner digit looks like it's under pressure. 4 or 8 actually. Nearly. It was nearly under pressure. Okay, what we could do actually is label these up now, because they are 2, 6, 7 and 8. So the digits that we haven't put into this 9-cell region are 1, 3 and 5, and they go in those squares. And that's not able to be 5. There's a 1, 3, 5 triple in column 5, I've noticed, in those 3 squares. There's a 3, 5 pair actually in this column as well. That's a 9 by that fair-weathered friend Sudoku. These can't include 2. That's not a 6 by Sudoku. Or oh, that's a naked single. That's a 7. Okay, that's good. This is an 8 by Sudoku. So we get a 2, 6 pair over here, which is resolved. So 6 goes here, 2 goes here, 2 goes here, 4 goes here, 4 goes there, 6 goes there. Oopsie, hang on. I'm just going to go back and check I didn't make an error there. 7 goes there, 6 goes there. I'm not sure if that's the way round I did it, but I felt like I did something wrong. That's 8, that's 2. That should be 9. We haven't put a 7 in column 5, so we better do that. We've not put 5 and 9 into these squares, so we can also do that. And therefore, that's not 2 anymore. So this is the 2, this is a 3, this is a 3, this is a 1, this is a 1, 3, 5, 1. 8 in the corner. And we've got left to place 3 here, 2, 2, 4, 4, and 9. There we go. No, not finished yet. 3 and 5. That could be correct. Now, what we should do is just quickly take a look at the green regions and have a think about whether they look like they all contain the required digits. Looks okay. Let's see. Yes. 114 people in just over a week. Well, that is a sensationally brilliant puzzle. It's just beautiful. The logic, the way it combines the loop cells with the non-loop cells. Oh, I meant to show you actually. I did snip before I turned on the webcam some of the comments on this, and they were absolutely, I mean, Blashik, Itrio, Christune, Snookerfan, these are all thought by. These are brilliant, brilliant solvers and setters. And every one of them is sort of saying, this is fantastic, what a construction. And they are absolutely right. Shintaro, take a bow, my friend. That was very, very good indeed. And hopefully some of you might join us for our streaming in just about 45 minutes time. Thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments how you got on. We enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.